Hey y'all, welcome to Spotted Dog Sporting Goods. Got Michael McVeigh, Richard Albritton, Nolan, if you don't care about, and Mr. Michael Little. We are just going to, again, talk shop. First, we have something really, really cool. You want to grab that beautiful specimen behind you? So this is a 2024 Hoyt Alpha X30 in the Origin Raptor camo. You can see it there. It's kitted out. It's ready to go.
Rigged up to the hilt.
I mean, I'm not saying you can't spend more money on a bow, but when we built this thing, we put the very best of the best on it.
That's right. It's the good stuff.
Axle sight, slider sight, so it's 3 pins, so you have your 20, 30, and 40. You can also take it to tack or shooting at 120 yards if you want. You can dial it in. We have everything's integrated. You got the pick mount on the front, pick mount on the back, Hampski arrow rest. The arrows, you don't get those. You're going to get your own cut.
Hey, with that limb driven works good on that.
Yeah,
on that bow too, doesn't it?
They make some really good ones, but for limb driven, this Epsilon is where it's at. Yeah. But have the new 2.0 Ghost sticks right there. Have back bar. I'll turn it where y'all can see it without getting everyone dizzy. You have the back bar.
And Nolan, what about the little DNA on the arrows? Does that go?
That's Kansas. That's Kansas blood. Okay. So he brought it up. I was going to say that, hey, this is a brand new 2024 bow. Enter to win. We are giving it away. But I did demo this for a few months, and
I thought you cut yourself. That's no, I didn't know you shot anything.
No, that quail feather on the other one, I almost cut myself retrieving that. But no, this bow, I ain't gonna say what it killed because it doesn't matter. But it's ready to kill a whole lot more. But I did demo this thing out, and this is the first Hoyt. I've been shooting the Matthews forever, and I don't know why. The Hoyt's a great bow.
You came on over.
You can ask this guy why I've been shooting Matthews, and he'll tell you, and then he'll tell you something completely different. But all jokes aside, this is an incredible shooting bow. Yeah. I love my Matthews, absolutely love it. If I'm shooting past, it's the last Matthews I have is the Phase 4 33, and when we rigged that thing out, we rigged it out to be completely different, to have a completely different purpose than what this one. I made this, I wanted to hunt, I wanted to strictly bow hunt with it. I wasn't worried about shooting way far out, which I've done it and you can, but I wanted something small I can pack in on that Rambo bike, I can get in a saddle with, really easy to manipulate while you're up in the stand.
Ground blind?
Ground blind, I mean that deer I killed in Kansas, got blood right here to prove it, but the deer I killed in Kansas this year, I shot out of a stump blind, which is it's a gun blind. I mean, it looks like a stump, and the windows, you know, they're like this, they're not very big, and I killed it out of that. But it's a great bow. It's my favorite bow hunting bow I've ever had by far, even over all the Matthews.
Getting down to it, folks.
But though I'll tell you though,
we're gonna have a Hoyt Spotted Dog bow giveaway.
That's what I talk about it all day. That's
what he meant to say.
We said we're talking shop.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we're giving this bow away. We have a lot more details to come. It will be an email sign up, and so it'll be really easy. It's not going to cost you to enter to win. There may be some options where you can go and do that with certain purchases, maybe in archery. We need to talk about that some more, but there may be, if we can get it where it all just like coincides on the sign up, then there may be a way that you could, enter more points toward
up your ante.
You could up your ante some. So there is a pay to play, or there might be a pay to play option, but it's a great bow. I'm gonna tell you though, the sling-a-ling, I don't like slings on my rifles, my shotguns, definitely not my bow. But this thing, dude.
That's some Jack gear.
Yeah,
really great guy. And boy, we have sold a lot of those.
Yep, it's legit.
And only shot at one deer, right? Didn't put any misses in it? Okay.
No, I killed 3 deer with it.
Okay.
One of them I didn't retrieve. That's the one I told y'all that I shot up there in Kansas. And I shot at a doe. I shot pretty late. Remember, it wasn't 20 minutes I got down to recover, and coyotes were on her.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And so I killed 3 deer with it. That Kansas buck, the Kansas doe, and a Kansas doe that coyotes ate, which sucked. But I didn't have it very long. I picked it up on a Monday here. Y'all called and said it came in. I picked it up, came up here, rigged it out. I sighted it in at 20 yards here, took it to the house, shot it at up to 80, and I was like, put the tape on it, we're ready to go. So I did that, or the scale on the Excel site, put that on it, and that was Monday. Got the bow. Wednesday I dialed it in, and Friday morning went to Kansas and killed a big one. So
that's right.
It's all the bow.
The phone call.
Yep.
So Yeah, everybody needs to be looking for that
Yeah.
information, and through the podcast and other things that we're going to do, we'll let that information leak out as
all our
we know
social
more
media
about it.
platforms.
Yeah.
Just
it all.
make sure you watch it.
And this is the second time that we brought this up. The last podcast that we did, we talked about this briefly. Well, that one airs Monday. Never mind, it hasn't come out. So this is the second time we've talked about it, but the first time it hasn't aired yet. That'll air next week.
That's right.
So that's another thing. The Spotted Dog podcast. I hate it for y'all that you have to sit there and listen to me on something besides this kind of stuff, but we have a good time. And we have some really good guests on that.
Yeah.
So
And we have a lot of good guests coming from now on. To hunts.
I was on the beginning. The people we've had within the last few weeks, and even talking through the rest of the year, like the talks and stuff. It's some really, really big
We're
names.
We're going to have some people that they're going to want to listen.
I'm not qualified to do it. We're going to have to get.
I don't think anybody standing here is.
No, but
it's going to be fun.
Yeah, but again, today we're here just talk shop. We all bow hunt. Clearly, we're in the archery department. You just got drawn. You've been putting in for Kansas.
About time. Yeah. So I went 2 years on, starting in 2020, 2 years straight. Drew. I thought it was just really easy to get drawn out of state. 2 for 2, 100%, right? And then you go the next year. I expected finally not to get drawn. Didn't get drawn. Next year, I didn't get drawn again. And so I had 2 preference points for Kansas. They started the preference point system. And I thought, man, there's no way I'm not getting drawn this year. I've got just as many preference points as anybody else out there. And finally, I did. I did get drawn. Just, it's about time. But I'm really excited to get back up there. It's been a while. Deer hunting. I've been up there in several years. We've been bird hunting a few times.
Turkey hunting, that kind of stuff.
But we're in very first part of July. Tomorrow is July the 4th.
Yep.
Be here before we know it.
It'll be September before you turn around. But now is when everybody really starts with the phone calls that we've gotten. We've noticed it too. The people putting out the feed in front of their cameras, kind of taking inventory of what they got, watching the bucks and the phones too, but watching the bucks, how the antlers are maturing. But anyway, people going elk hunting, people going on their Kansas, Iowa, wherever they might go in the Midwest, even just here. But everybody's starting to get their stuff lined up and ready to go. Kind of check that. Everybody's got a little checklist of what they do. Your strings, your rest, your sight, whatever it is. But this is the time of year it starts getting ramped up a little. Of course, we saw that last week or so on the telephone.
Especially with string calls. So.
Yeah, string calls.
And they're right now, if we don't have it in stock, you're looking 4 to 5 days production plus shipping. So, a little over, let's say a little over a week, 10 days at most, maybe.
And that's the gas.
That's gas.
Strings.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's all we really stock. Those guys, they're personal friends of ours, and look, we've been doing business with Eric Griggs up there for
before it was a gas boat.
Before it was a gas boat. But even before he was doing strings.
That's right.
But you don't have a lot of trouble. But wherever you get your stuff done, wherever your pro shop is, but your string is that's the
first thing to look at. Like
you
need to make sure your string.
What do you look for? What are you looking for?
Where?
Okay.
And look, in some strings, some folks shoot them. Some folks don't shoot them as much as others. So how old it is, regardless of what it looks like, there could be something under the serving the weather you can't detect. You need a new string. If it's 5 years old, you're probably a year or two overdue. I guess depending on how much you shoot. But a string's age, they don't have an infinite shelf life. So 5 years, get a new string. But of course, Mike kind of touched on it a while ago too, though. But the longer you wait, right now, you're looking at probably 7-10 days, maybe. We know in another 6 weeks, it's going to take that many weeks to get one in. So you need to go ahead wherever you do your stuff.
Right.
And not just, there's some people that won't come in, that's fine. But wherever you get your stuff done, get it done early. Don't be that guy September 15th and you open up your bow case for the first time and then where your serving is on your string, it's popped in the middle. And don't do that.
Right.
That puts everybody in
Or, of course, y'all might not be able to see it, but it looks like that raven over there.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep that
That's fine.
frame.
Yeah.
I purposely set the camera so we wouldn't see
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
good. They don't need to see
We
it.
putting strings on it.
But that's self-inflicted.
That's right.
That particular one is. So, and a lot of it is self-inflicted. But
And there's different times too. Just to say this, we can talk about this another time. If you do have a raven, that maximum of 5 years of getting your string on your compound bow changed, you don't need to wait 5 years on a raven. If you do, it's going to look like that. I know it's a different story from what happened with that one, but Lamar, my father-in-law, I think it was I don't even remember the number of years. I'm not even gonna try to say 3, 4 years, something like that. Went to pull it out of the case, and guess what?
cables turn loose. That's right.
Yep. So anyhow, you called in here at Spotted Dog, talk to these guys.
No more than 3 years on those.
Is that any model of raven? Or
Yeah, absolutely.
is that crossbows in general, or is that just the
No, it's just
raven?
these high energy. They have a real short cable.
Yeah.
They have 4 of them, and it's not so much the string that really messes it. Those cables, they hold a lot of energy. They hold a lot of power. So, it's just ravens.
That's just
Most everybody else's conventional crossbow, whether they're the big wide limb or the ones that are parallel, or the cables are pretty long, and they're not as tight. They don't have as much tension, and they're larger in diameter. They have more strands.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but now that back when Raven came out, none of us knew anything about that. So several years have gone by. We're learning, and Raven's learning. So anyway,
that's also one of the things. You get a high-end, torqued up crossbow like the Ravens, part of it. You get a really fast car. Guess what? You're going to change the tires on it more often. That's
preventive maintenance. That's all you got to do. Just stay ahead of it. And you'll never have any trouble. And some of these hunts, that hunt you're going on, I know we've messed with your stuff, but it ain't cheap. And you get over there, and the weakest link on your bow is your string. You don't. Man, maybe I should have had that. And the next thing you know, that thing pops, and there you are. And is there a pro shop up here somewhere? I don't know. Let's call somebody. But anyway, but that's our deal on the strings for sure.
Well, look, talking about the weakest link on one, I don't think it's Demolition Ranch. I don't remember who it is. Talked about this on the podcast that would come out next week as well. But have y'all seen the Hoyts? Them running over them with the Dodge 3500, the brand new RX-8. You not seen that?
How old are you?
I've seen it.
How old are you now?
30.
When they came out with the very first carbon,
He's about to crack on me.
The Matrix.
I am. I'm just saying how old you are. That's not anything new. The carbon matrix, they had a big jacked up
Running over them.
running over, spinning out on it,
over it.
putting
Have
the
you
air
seen that
rest
before?
back on it.
I haven't either.
Sliding on it.
I've never seen that.
It's awesome. And again, down there at the bottom, do not try this at home.
Well, they went and they had a Dodge 3500, 7,000-pound truck, ran over, like you said, spun out on it. Well, it wasn't burning tires, but he ran over it and gassed it and slung it out the back. It went measured the axle to axle, brace height, everything, drew it back, shot it good at 20 yards.
Then they threw it.
They hit on top of the tree like 15 feet, climbed up in the saddle tree just like that, dropped it 15 feet, perfectly fine on the ground, and then the biggest one, they dry fired it.
Multiple.
No
Not
way.
once, not twice, and it may have been
I
twice,
haven't
but it
seen
was
it.
2 or 3 times.
And it was after
How
all
old are you?
this.
But he dry fired. It was the RX-8. Dude drew back, pow, slapped it, drew back, pow. I know he did it twice. He may have done it more. I don't know, but I know he did it twice. And measured the specs on it. Everything was still good. Knocked the arrow, shot a hole at 20 yards. I say shot a hole, not a paper hole, but shot the target hole at 20 yards.
Back in the day, that their claim to fame is you could dry fire them 1,500 times. And we've been in the store and somebody pull it back with their fingers and it sounds like a 22 Magnum going off. And the only thing you can say is, well, there's 1,499 more. Just
About like a
come over
kid.
here, let's make sure to tear a cam up.
Oh,
Yep.
It'll make you run.
Yeah, but talking about the bows, this they've been out for 6-7 months. But we have the lift. We have
That's the lift there. Yeah.
yeah.
This is the one we putting strings on. Just
Yeah,
kinda was working on it today. That's
Gotcha.
those on
That's
there a
somebody
while
else's
ago.
bow.
V3X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Custom
V-
bow.
Changing strings out on that. And have you already changed them?
Yes.
That's the new. I'm about to say
Yep.
is that the Ghost camo?
That's the
That's the new
That-
Ghost
and
camo.
that
good.
And that's something
does
else
look
too.
good.
On those strings though, Nolan, Hoyts are not too tough. There's other companies that has 3 total strings that you put on. But Matthews, it takes a little while. And I think a lot of people don't understand it. But there's 5 pieces to that set. You have to disassemble this thing. The cams have to come off. You have to put the yoke on. Your cable itself kind of loops through the I call it a yoke, but
Yes, yoke,
yoke
split or
keeper,
whatever,
they call it. So it takes a little while. So sometimes, when you get these strings done, you can get to it that day. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes, and we don't do appointments. And sometimes you just may have to drop it off and just leave it here just a minute, and we put it on as the strings come in, and you just come get it and tie the peep into it, that kind of thing. But I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. I'm worth interrupting.
Say what you're going to say
but
about the
real quick, like Craig, the goat rope, he came. His string's been in for a little while, and I don't know how long,
Come this
but
morning.
about 2 days.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, regardless, he called y'all or texted you yesterday.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, can I be there first thing in the morning? And so, anyhow, give him a
And
shout.
it's good.
They can-
It's early. It's the 1st of July, so it's not. There's not 20 people standing out here right
It
now.
will be.
So
it will be quickly.
Yeah.
Um,
But he was also getting ready to go on elk hunt
Yeah.
here in
He
a couple
is, yeah.
months
He is.
too. So he's,
Yeah.
And where
he's
is he
beginning
going?
the stages.
Is it Montana?
Montana,
think.
I believe.
How
Montana.
cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
And he's driving now.
Is
Yeah.
it
He
really?
was flying. He's
Man.
going to
We're
drive
gonna
Well,
now.
split it up into two
Yeah.
deals.
I mean, which is great. He's going to see some beautiful
Oh
country.
yeah.
Sure.
But I mean, it just adds to. That's what I'm saying. It just adds to
Yeah.
the
well,
adventure.
now he's not limited to what he can bring back.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's why the guys that he's going with are like, hey man, you go ahead and you drive. We think that's a great idea. Like that'd be a wonderful thing. That way he can bring as much meat,
That's
Yeah.
right.
much meat as he can. But no, good.
We would just want a little part of that back strap.
Yeah, but again, speaking of I want more of that. Yeah, you should have told him you're gonna do something bad to his bow if he doesn't get fixed up.
All right,
But
so what-
really quick, Craig Robertson at the Goat Rope. You can follow his story on his elk hunt to Montana. You can check him out.
Oh yeah, he said he's going to keep putting it out there
Yeah.
and kind of daily
Mm-hmm.
deals,
Working up
snippets
to
on
it.
his. On
You're not
his-
gonna find anybody. Look, we do a lot of video stuff. That dude, it may not be hunting related. He does video stuff. He pumps out a video a day, sometimes 2 or 3 videos a day. Again, it may be of his kids fishing in their pond or something.
No, but he's
He's
good
all-
at it,
yeah,
too.
he's
He's got good content.
But no, this is the sexiest bow I've laid my eyes on. That bottomland is absolutely gorgeous.
and that's not your bow.
No.
Well, but I know it ain't. But if you give me,
That's awesome. I
but
just want to tell everybody that's not
that's not
his
his.
bow. Normally he talks about his stuff that way. But,
but
that new bottomland does look good, doesn't it?
it's gonna look good at Cottonwood this fall.
Yep.
I may not get invited back, but it'll look good. Your bottomland will look good.
They look good in January over
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had yours in January. What are some of the things? There's not going to be a huge difference, and it is a big step up. I say big. It's a noticeable step up going from the lift, even from the Phase 4. There's some pretty good changes in that, but even from like the V3, the V3X to the
Mhm.
Phase 4, had them all. They all shot great.
Yep.
Phase 4 was my favorite, but it's also because I had a longer axle
That's
too,
right.
and I felt like it was more forgiving, and I liked it for the purpose of the bow. What are y'all two being in this business and seeing it every day? What are some of the changes that you've seen, like good changes you've seen from the VXR, something? Because a lot of people listening, most people don't go, and most people don't need to go buy a new bow every year.
That's
And
right.
so people that are going and they have bows, Richard's like, no, don't tell them that.
No.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, you want to when you buy a new boat. Look, they don't give them away anymore.
No.
You can't afford to buy a new one every year.
Mm-mm.
Used to, they price themselves out of that. But now, you want to make sure when you get a new bow that the change that you make from your old one to your new one, there's enough jump to constitute the money that you have to spend.
Yeah.
And a lot of people look Phase 4. Let's just knock it out. So this Phase 4, if somebody has a Phase 4 and says, "Man, what do you think? Should I get the lift? Does it shoot that much better?" Probably not. The Phase 4, it was smooth. Not that if somebody wanted the new lift, we said absolutely.
You're not turning people. You're not turning people away, but you're also going to be honest with people too.
If they're going to ask, we're going to tell them.
Yeah.
But there needs to be enough separation from one to the other. Now, how they shoot and how they perform, maybe not so much, but how they feel there is. You know, there's a considerable weight difference between the lift and the phase fours, and they've cut it. And you can look at there's a lot of cutouts in there that they took out, and we've seen it today with some new ones that we sold today, and you get the right air in there, and look, and I think it's quiet as a mouse peeing on cotton.
That's right.
Have you held this thing yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quiet.
It's quiet and it's light.
Matthews
it's
has a
incredibly
patent
light.
on that quiet, I guess,
Quietness,
because they sound so much different than everything
I'm
else.
gonna tell you that Hoyt though, it may or may not be quieter than that Matthews. I ain't knocking Matthews at all. I love it,
No. That
but-
Hoyt is it's just as quiet, but there's nothing more quiet.
Yeah. No, it is. That deer, that big buck in Kansas this year, he didn't hear it coming. He absolutely
He's
didn't.
still talking about
Yeah.
that.
That's right.
I would be too.
I'm still
I
excited.
don't blame you.
I get
But
it.
no, what I'm trying to say is that you do need to come in here and shoot the bows and just see for yourself.
Well, Michael, what's the main thing for you on the new lift? What
You know,
makes it?
Physical weight. I mean, you can put the weight where you want it. You know, with stabilizers, front and back bar, that type of stuff. It is a new cam system. It's a Switch Weight X cam. They made it to where now you got draw weights down to a peak weight of 55 up to 80 in 5-pound increments across all the draw length ranges. So that's neat. Makes it easy on us. We got to have a bunch of modules to be able to change them.
Yeah.
But we
We're
don't have
waiting
to
on
stop.
we're waiting on to put that module exchange system
Yeah.
into effect.
We
which
got a
won't
lot
happen.
of switch
You'll be
weights.
waiting a
that-
while.
Yeah.
That's wishful thinking.
We got a lot of switch weight mods that won't work on the X.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of the new mods too though, so we can outfit just about any size. But the new bottom land looks good. I done mine with a black limb, and
That really looks good. It sets
Yeah.
it off.
it does. It looks good.
String. Tell us about the string,
The
Mike.
new string, peep sight doesn't rotate on it. Mine has not moved much. Once I set it up, and I shot it, let's say a dozen times down here close to the target before I put a peep sight in it, just settling the strings. I was shooting through paper, tuning it and all that too during that time. Put a peep sight in it, and it hadn't moved. I mean, it's there.
It's a new proprietary
It's a new process. that they're doing.
proprietary material that they made it out of, and it's a new process
new
too. But
process.
there's no peak creep like
Nope.
Used to we'd sell one, and I know Matthews got tired of it, seeing their bows with somebody else's string on there. But after a while, it is what it is. Your peep sight would rotate, and people are having to adjust it. It was a pain in the neck, but now they've hit a home run with what they've got now. So there's really no. In our day, somebody would buy a new bow. Their new string would probably beat their bow in. If we had a special, we'd have to order a string. But unless you just want a different
Yeah.
color, or you really do want a gas string, or you're replacing an old string for these new bows. There's no reason to do that now.
Nope.
So, which is we like it. We like it.
Yeah. And we've got some customers that'll come in, buy the factory setup, shoot it, get it all broken, settled in, and then come in, put a new string on it, keep that string fully intact. Peep sights in it, nose button, everything's on it. They got them another set of string in case.
Did that this morning?
Yeah, in case a broadhead gets loose and they cut one in the woods. If you off in Timbuktu somewhere, it's hard to find a company that's going to have a string in stock. We saw this last year with one of our customers in Utah. He had a pretty
Is that a tack
absorbent,
event?
that's right, pretty absorbent amount of money he had to get a string in a hurry. But if you got an extra string ready to go, you can find somebody with a bow press. I mean, they're going to charge you to put it on.
I've never considered that.
You just
Yeah.
put it on, get your timing. Just
Go back.
brother, put my string on, get my timing right. Let me shoot a couple times, make sure my peep is right. I'm out of your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's
I
already
was scared to
broken.
death last
Yeah.
year. The string is that weak link, right? And so I flew out to Oregon last year, scared to death. I wanted the perfect bow case and had to have it fit just right and everything else. And I was scared I was going to get there, checking or getting my bag from check in or whatever, and my string you come off or whatever, bow damage, anything.
Well, you know how the people in the airport, they're real careful about those bow
Very
cases
They're
careful.
really
coming
careful.
off.
They're
Yeah,
real
I
easy.
pulled my case off and there was already massive scuffs on everything else, but that SKB case it was worth the money
Oh, yeah.
getting it for sure. I love that case.
Have you messed with the shot sense?
We hadn't. We've got 2 over there, but I'll be honest with you, I hadn't messed with it.
Yeah, we need to do something though. We
Yep.
need to try that and do it. Is it like a training kind of thing
It
in it? Like
is.
Well, it's a
tracks?
talking point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vibration in the bow, you know, the way you're holding it, torque level, all that
It'll
stuff.
track like your
It
shot.
will keep up with it.
Essentially, the point of it is to make you a better archer
That's
or a
right.
better shot. It'll tell you what you're doing wrong.
Yep.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, so we talked about Matthews. Tell us about the new Hoyts really quick.
All right, well, you asked.
All
right. Well, their HBX exact cam, and the exact comes from, you can change the draw length in a quarter
That's
of
right.
an inch. But smooth draw, you know, how one feels when it goes off in your hand is, in my opinion, is not that's not what makes it or breaks it for me. You know, we have folks come in here and they'll draw one back and it has the transition from your poundage to your let off, there's a big bump at the back. They forget about that after they shoot it. After they shoot, there's no vibration in your hand. My gosh, that thing was smooth. Well, they forgot about the most important part, the drawback. I said, what, did you feel that? Didn't pay any attention to it. When you get deer up close, you don't want to have that movement. So when it knocks off at the back end like that, that's a lot of shake up there in the tree. Deer feel that. So anyway, this cam that they have, and I know that it's that smoothness. It's like an old 1 cam, 2 cams back in the day, 2 wheels, energy wheels back in the day. When you would draw it, the transition from your poundage now to this 85% let off, it's a smoothness. That's what sells me on it. Period. And that goes without the fact of saying it at a distance, you know, because of the tech riser, how stiff the risers are. You know, the stiffer the riser, the less flex it has. And the less flex it has, your 1,000th shot was as good as your 500th. It was as good as the very first one you shot. So, but they've hit a home run. And for years, their limbs have been second to none. Like we talked about a while ago, the 1,500 dry fire guarantee or whatever. Not saying they wouldn't tear up a string or pull a post off a cam,
That's right.
but those limbs didn't give way. So for years they've been doing that. Anyway, it's just accurate. It's smooth. Yeah. Again, it's just as quiet as a Matthews, and that's a check. That's a check for the Matthews. You know, when people can start comparing to your bow,
You want to
it's
get
just as quiet as a Matthews. Well, Matthews must be the quietest one. For years they have been, and nobody's ever disputed that. But accuracy out at a distance, I'm a Hoyt guy. I have been for however long. But I'm a spotted dog guy. So if somebody wants a doggone lift, hey, I can tune one of those just as good as anybody can too. So I'm a lift guy.
That's the hard part about the bows.
Or a phase 4 guy, or whatever.
Everybody makes good bows.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all have the dude that was in here yesterday. I was down here for just a little bit, and the guy that was in here changing his arrow rest is a dude, and he had the one of the Fred Bears, maybe the hunting public version of the Fred Bear.
Yes, he did.
The
That's
bottom
right.
end.
Yes.
How much is that bow?
650
Is that
or
that come
79.
with stuff on it? The sights?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it comes rigged out, $700, $650, something like that, whatever it is. Half the price is just what that bow is new, and there's no doubt it's going to be different. And it's a different caliber of bow. My point is, everybody, even Fred Bear on a $600-700 bow, makes a really
Look,
good bow.
I'm going to tell you something. If you just have one brand bow in here for us anyway, it does not work.
Yeah.
You've got to have a Ford, a Chevrolet, and a Toyota. Or you've got to have something. You got to have that competition. If you don't have that competition, it's stalemate. It's not good. So anyway,
For mainstream bows, PSC is gonna be the only ones we don't have here.
We don't have Bowtech. We don't
yeah,
have PSC. You know, and I'm glad you said so. We have customers that we've had for 30 years, and some of them have always shot since 92 when Matthews came out. But let's say for the past 10 years they've shot a Matthews or they've shot a Hoyt, and they want to shoot something a little different. You know, we also carry Elite, and Elite is our different, and they have a great shooting bow. Of course, we don't have one of those out right here in front of us right now, but they too have a. There's a lot of bow companies out there that they'll ask us about Elite, but they say they're not worried about them, but they'll be the first one they ask about. But they have a great shooting bow, and I wouldn't have a problem shooting one of those either.
Yeah, they were good.
If you're looking for something different that's not a Hoyt or a Matthews, and Elite is our different.
Well, look, y'all work with all these different bows every day. Y'all see all the different features, all the different accessories that come out. What's like your favorites, you know, whether it's features or accessories?
What's Richard's favorite build? What's Michael's favorite build?
Not necessarily build, but what are these different features that make things maybe easier for you as a hunter or as, you know, a bow tech or whatever that may be? Didn't mean to put you on the spot right there.
You kind of did. I appreciate that.
He meant to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking myself.
And for example, I shoot a V3, so I don't have the bridge lock technology. I don't have these things that make things sometimes easier for bow hunters to, you know, stow away, take them out of your bow case, get ready to hunt, things like that. I keep up with all these accessories and the new technologies that come out. So somebody like me that has a 4 or 5 year old bow, what are some of these new accessories and the new things that get y'all excited?
And we talk about Matthews. So they make a great bow. Not denying that. But they make even better accessories.
Mm-hmm.
And their accessories with the bridge lock, you know, with the sight, the stabilizers that move in and out, the and of course this is a Hoyt, and it's tight to the bow too. But their quiver, their long quiver that fits really tight. Oh, look, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. Young aggressive engineers up there have made those accessories they're seamless. So you have a long stabilizer, your bow case cannot accommodate one, so you're having to unscrew it, put it in, or either a quick disconnect. Well, with this right here, you just loosen up a thumb screw, the bridge lock goes in, your stabilizer's now, it's 4 inches long, it fits in any bow case.
Right.
I'm telling you, that their accessories are second to none, and everybody else is catching up. I'm impressed with that. That's a. It's not a deal breaker, but it's a pretty neat feature though.
That is the one thing I'm missing with that V3. So that same bow case I was telling you about, my sight is just a little too long to fit the way it's supposed to. So I have to reconfigure it or either make some cutouts in it to be able to fit that. But with the bridge lock technology, I wouldn't have to worry about that.
You could. That's right. That's right.
On Allen screw, and you can take it out easy.
That's
slide
right.
it in.
Well, you know, we tried that on the V3X. That was the first one that had the bridge lock, and the V3. So that's the V3X, the first one that had it. And remember with that black one, we shot it, and at 20 and 30, I think I even took it outside, came back in. We took it out, or took the Allen screw out, pulled the fast eddy sight out, put it back in because it has little divots in it that the little set screw goes back in, and put it back in that same exact one. Marked it, put it back in, tightened it up, shot perfect.
As long as you get it in the same location.
I'm talking about 80 yards. Shot the same. Like we didn't test it just at 10 steps.
You do the same thing with tack, like when we take our bows up there. I didn't know if you did or
not. On this one, of course, this is mine here, but you don't have the bridge lock,
but
you do have the Picatinny, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And so you've got the Picatinny on yours, so you can take it off, put it in your case, fly with it, whatever you want to do. Take it, put it back on your bow, shoot it, and I guarantee it's going to be sighted back in. So it's a different take on the in and out that you can. One is just as good
as the bridge lock any more than I do is the pick rail on the front of that, and even the Hamskea or any Arrow Rest Q8As or whatever. But being able to mount that directly to the riser, I know it doesn't shave off a ton, but keeping as much stuff streamlined, you have the availability to do it.
It does. but I don't have that on mine. I still have the.
Did you move that
The
from
washer.
the last bow up to this one though?
No. That's a brand spanking new. And of course, it's limb driven also. I like the limb driven, just simply because it's not pulling against my cable. And you know, people say, "What if a limb gets caught in that thing?" Well, if a limb gets caught, what if limbs get caught in your cable?
Yeah, I've never.
I don't know. Look, I'm pretty particular about my gun stuff. I don't ever shoot a gun anymore, so. But my bows, I'm pretty particular. It's going to be protected somewhat. I'm not just going to go wade through a bunch of.
And any time that a limb, stick, whatever might get caught in that cord, you got arrows covering it anyway.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's a good point.
It's covered up.
That's right.
Well, even that e-bike, we all ride them, and slipping through the wood like Darbone, you know, the stuff we hunt around there. It's thick, like going on public land stuff and riding the e-bikes out there. And I've never putting it on that sling-a-ling, putting it on my back, rolling. I've never had that cord or cable getting hung up on anything, and I've driven through some stuff.
Now, are you going to when you go? I know we changed the subject, but when you go to Kansas, are you going to go? Are you going to scout ahead of time, or?
I've got some spots kind of already. I'd love to go up there and scout, and we may go here in the next few weeks or something like that. But yeah, kind of go scout, see what's available, trim some limbs maybe while I'm up there, set a few stands if I need to. I'm debating. I love to do all stay sits, especially during the rut. And so I'm debating on, do I do the saddle? Do I do the lock on? The lock on is very comfortable. They've got some really nice sitting, very comfortable stands with the lock on. But I love the saddle setup. So I've got the bug a little bit.
I think that's fun. It puts some excitement in just to shoot your does if that's what you want. If you want to try to do that, but you know we've got that saddle tree, Nolan, and we've spent a lot of time up and down that thing. But that's been something that. It's an addition to what we do up here with the saddle stuff, and it is so much fun. And it's fun to help people with it. You know, we get excited about that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, to hear everybody's got a story about their saddle thing, and everybody's got this is what works perfect. Well, it works perfect for you. It may not be that way for everybody, but that's been a different aspect of our business too. That saddle.
There's a lot of different accessories that you can go and pick and choose from.
Yes, I mean, it's a never-ending deal.
It's just like a bow. Like there's different brands of bows, different brands of saddles, all the accessories that go on it. It's the same concept.
And everybody makes pretty good stuff. And then, if you don't like one particular something, well, somebody else makes something that you get that. And that's something else too. If you ever want to buy a birthday present or a Christmas present and somebody hunts in the saddle, pretty much you can go buy them something that you're pretty sure they don't have already. There's a bunch of stuff for
them.
Those
Kongs, the mechanical,
the descenders,
carabiners,
you call them.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Yeah.
I hunted for I hunted 3 seasons. I have a saddle without one. I was like, dude, I ain't spending.
Well, at night gets tight, don't it? It's tough to do one hand.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, every time I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to spend $60, $70, $80, whatever. I don't want to spend that on it. And when I get up in the tree, I'm almost wanting to cut the dang rope to jump out of the tree because it's so dang tight.
You talked me into it last year. I went a season or two without one and doing the one hand, twisting that knot open to slide up and down. And man, you're hanging 20 foot up in the tree. Just be a little safe with it and just get the Kong.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's
already safe, but it's just so much easier.
There are some cheaper ways to get into saddle hunting. My experience, I hate to say pay to play or buy once, cry once kind of thing, but I may go grab the camera and turn it around here in a second for anyone watching, but I'm not looking at this middle camera. I'm looking at the saddle tree. So they have a saddle tree, probably 10 inches in diameter, 8-10 inches diameter, something like that, on a big metal base that it is holding in. And perfect size saddle tree, 12 foot tall, probably something like that. And they have it set up. You put sticks on it. Put a platform on it. There's a cruiser saddle or any other saddle you want to demo. You can put in the tree, and you can test before you buy with this. Because if you do, I mean, it ain't hard to spend a lot of money on this stuff. And so being able to come here and test it before you go and buy it, that's a lot of people.
You can ask Michael. Michael's is what before you bought these things and they were
online only.
They were online only.
Yeah.
So you get it, you say, man, that thing's uncomfortable. Well, then what? Well, you've used it, so just go buy another. That's right. No. It's like a bow. You shoot a bow before you buy it, just see if you like it or not. Saddles the same way.
I love that concept, and I love that you get to try different brands of platforms, different brands of saddles, different brands of sticks. You know, because you can mix and match all of those. I've got a tethered saddle, but I've got some XOP ropes, and then I've got some Hawk sticks. So I mix and match.
You can
just
mix and match.
whatever works for
Absolutely.
me, and you get to try that out here.
But you know, Tethered's coming out with they're coming out with a dealer-only line that I don't believe that Tether's going to sell on their website. They're going to let the dealers have it for a change, and it's called their Grit line, and we're so excited about that. It should ship this month,
latter part of
maybe.
this month, yeah.
And,
What's new? What's new about it?
the price.
No, okay.
It's great stuff. You know, Nolan said, you know, it's pay to play kind of thing, but they've lowered the price a little bit, and so the introductory level on a good product saddle doesn't cost you as much if it were the type. It gives you an opportunity to get into it and feel the comfort for not as much price.
Yeah.
You know, we had a company come to us and had a new climbing stand, and how much is it going to retail for? $1,000. I said, oh my word! These good old boys, we're not going to pay $1,000 for
Right. For a climber.
So when you come in here and you get a saddle set up, and you want to walk out of here and not want anything else, it's $1,000 or so. So
And that's not
maybe
including a
$1,000.
backpack or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's expensive, but all these boys that do that, and I don't hunt public land, you know, and just on our private land, you know, it's fun to use it. And I know y'all hunt the public stuff, and I, you know, you're just not limited to what tree you can get on. Yes, you are. I mean, there's one big cottonwoods that it takes
There
three
are
of them to
some,
reach
right.
around.
But having that flexibility to be able to, like, on not even just public land, but like at Kansas, at the farm, your club, wherever you don't want to go and hunt, y'all's place. If you go and you have this lock on, I mean, there's nothing better to hunt than not a lock on. There's nothing better to hunt than a ladder stand. Just old school, millennial, like a 15 or 20 foot ladder stand. It's comfortable. It's easy to climb up. It's great. It's the creme de la creme of comfort, but and ease. But if you go in, you plan on hunting, and the wind's swirling, the wind's wrong, whatever else, you ain't moving. You're not moving that really quick. And so that's what I do is we have our lock-ons and stuff that we hunt up there in Kansas, but I always take my saddle, and if there's a spot I want to hunt and that wind's not quite right,
Just go on the other side.
I'm going to go on the other side, and I'm going to put it up. It's going to take me, now that I've been doing it for a few years, I'm still not great. I can be up a tree in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so it's easy. But out of all the stuff that people come in and buy that they either want to return, not just here, but anywhere that people just buy and send back or return, how many people bring back and want refunds or exchanges on saddle stuff?
Look,
I would say probably I haven't heard any.
A size, maybe, you know, they're on borderline on the size.
Well, I'm talking because they don't like it.
Yeah, no.
I've not had a person come and say that, you know, it's not something that you buy on Friday afternoon and you hunt with Saturday morning before daylight. Absolutely not. You have to practice with it. It's a learning curve.
Everything's like that, though.
You need to start out a couple of feet off the ground, get used to how you move around the tree, and then grab a bow, because that throws another dimension of difficulty to it.
But nobody said, man, would you buy this back for me? Because I absolutely hate it. No.
Yeah,
And look, I'm older, but there are people older than us that are using it for the first time now, and they're like little cats.
Bigger. Look, I ain't trying to crack on anybody for weight, but there's some big son of guns that's coming here and bought those saddles, and
we got a 6'4", and he's 350 pounds, and he'll get on that tree and he'll sit on it and he'll show people how to do it.
Right.
He's like a big cat. He's like a raccoon, not a cat.
Panda bear.
Yeah, he's one of them black bears that we see.
But he doesn't mind showing people, and the saddle he has is a cruiser, and it fits him fine, and he enjoys the snot out of it. It's tough to hide you see in the cartoon where you got this big bear and he hides behind a light pole that's like this, and then he's this big. That's what he looks like on that little tree right there. But he hides good enough.
Yeah, that is my favorite thing. That is my favorite thing. The ease of getting up down the tree is great, but my favorite thing about it, especially speaking of Cottonwood, when we were there filming this year, the first 2 mornings, because I filmed in the morning and I filmed for Ryan, no, filmed for Jacob your son, the first 2 mornings.
Yeah.
And me being able to go and film him seeing deer and stuff like that, but me being behind the tree or even by myself, having structure or a tree between me and the deer, that's nice, especially
Yeah,
if
it
you're
is.
self-filming or even if you have your bow. If you have something in your way that you can go and get your binos, range it, whatever, and all 165 pounds of you's not sticking out, that's nice.
It is nice. But anyway, that's something that that has grown, and we've seen it grow, and it's fun for us. We enjoy selling that stuff and telling people about it.
It's one thing I don't want to forget.
Yep.
We're coming close to an end. But,
Yep.
I know a few of the things that make this different and awesome, but I made the post on Instagram and Facebook the other day. I think I put on there just from what I got from it. It's the most durable. It's the most ninja camera you're ever gonna find when it comes to the IR glow. There's something else that I put. Oh, ease of use, I think is what it was. And so that's kind of what I got from their website. But this is the Reveal Pro 3.0, and we have the X 3.0.
And those just started shipping too. But I'm gonna tell you that Reveal trail camera, Tacticam, has that. We got a lot of friends that work for other companies. It's tough. That makes it. If you're in the camera business, that company makes it tough. What? Tell me, Michael. You've got video that you can do.
There's new software with it, with the app. I think you can do like on-demand video.
On-demand video.
Yeah,
there
that's
you go.
the new feature
do
with
that.
the
That's
Pro.
on the Pro only, but built-in SIM card.
Yeah,
You know,
or the SD card.
The SD card.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't
Forget
have to have
your
SD.
16
It's
gig,
built
30
in.
gig
No
SD
way.
card at the house has internal
That's
memory.
awesome.
And it's
That'll save you
still-
some money right there.
It's still AT&T, Verizon.
And it doesn't. It's not. It's less expensive than some of the other cameras that didn't offer
Absolutely.
as much stuff.
Oh yeah, the price point to the features to the usability of the Reveal, I mean, it's second to none. Every model they've come out with is a home run.
Well, it is a home run, and the people that we deal with at the factory, another home run. There's no drama. There's no. You're glad you get off the phone with them, and because you still don't know any more than you knew before you call them. No, these people, they're wonderful
That's great.
and courteous and helpful, especially if you like me. I'm this kind of stuff I'm not real good with, but I can set that up.
Well, you know, one of the things that I absolutely love over this, like coverts, there's 2 cameras that we have. We used to run the Reconics all the time. Then we went to the covert Blackhawks. There's different submodels they made of that. We have, I mean, up in Kansas, that's all Lamar runs until I started buying those. I think we have 7 or 8 of them now. But the app, some people don't care about that, but me, being able to set it up and pull my phone, like we were looking at some of my trail camera pictures a while ago, being able to go to the app, and all the pictures, you can scroll through them just like you can on your phone, like on your iPhone or whatever. It's just a very, very user-friendly app. There's no BS. It's literally, it pops up the pictures. You can look at this camera or this camera, and all of them will do that, but it's not as sleek and, I guess, quick as what their app is.
But the Covert is a great camera,
I love
and
the
they
Covert.
opened the doors for a lot of people. They came out with stuff, and then some of these people said, dude, that's a pretty good idea. And so they did it. And then, of course, now with technology, I guess the longer it's been out there, it's easier to make and maybe it's less expensive. I don't know.
Those coverts, though, I've only had the Reveals. This will be the 3rd season. I've had Tacticams in general, or this may be the 4th, 3rd or 4th. But Lamar, we're running Blackhawks. He's had for, years. I'm not
A
even
long
trying
time.
I mean, is 8 years, is that 18 years sound about right? I mean, they've been out for a while.
It's a long time.
And
And they still click.
They're still rocking and rolling.
That's
But
right.
they made some of the original ones may not have the features for like the brand new one, even the coverts or any of them will. But the app is a little bit easier to get everything set up and roll through on the Reveals. But I'm gonna say those coverts gonna be like a Tacoma or something like that. You're not, or old Honda 300. You're not gonna kill them. They last.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the end, I'd rather have a working camera with a not so functional app than I would a not working camera with a great app.
With a great app.
But fortunately,
That's not it, though.
That's not it.
Okay.
No, we ain't talking about the Reveal.
No, it does it all.
It does
it all.
both.
And that's the reason why we got them sitting out there on purpose, just
Yeah.
it's brand spanking new, and these 2 models, and we're tickled with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're in store. We got them online. I mean,
Yeah, we're
they're
gonna
ready to
talk
roll.
about that in a minute too.
Yeah. Well, no, there's again. We said originally we were going to run for like 20 or 30 minutes. I forgot to set my timer. Have no idea how long we've been going.
About
but-
3 minutes, about 15
Yeah,
minutes.
about
probably.
10, 15 minutes. Anybody, the one person, so everybody's wives or mom is still listening. Thank y'all for hanging in. That's the only supporters we have left. But no, the website, I want to hit on that. We
Yeah, and
completely
it's
renovated that.
newly renovated, and now we're transporting it, new items on it from the. It's so much different. I didn't know how it could be different, but it's so much different. It's easy to manipulate it. So
Joanna Gaines, she came in and she did a reno on it. You don't know who Joanna Gaines is? You know, the renovate the people from
What
Waco,
boat she
Texas.
shoot?
Yeah,
Go ahead and ask him, how old is he?
Yeah. How old are you, Richard?
I don't know.
Did people ever call
Is that swimmer?
No.
That's on, okay, I didn't know.
People ever call you Dick because of Richard?
Not in front of me, they don't. I appreciate that.
Just because of the name, you know, people get called Dick and their nickname Dick and their name's Richard.
Once.
Just then?
No, but not ever again.
I didn't.
If you call me one more time, and we'll have to cut this thing because you'll see.
But no, she renovates homes in Texas, whatever. So
Okay.
everybody else, Magnolia Homes, Joanna Gaines does
With the
funny dude, her husband.
yeah, he's got to be. He's
Yeah.
kind of redheadish
Yeah.
guy. Yeah. I know who
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. People,
All right. Well, we got on
I'm still
something
out there,
different
I guess.
didn't
I
we?
don't, it's not ringing a bell.
I'll show you a picture and you'll know who I'm talking about here in a minute. Regardless, I tried to make a funny joke. It clearly, I need to stop.
It did not
Need to
work.
stop that. But yeah, how old are you, Richard?
All right, but anyway, so the website.
It's great. And it's easy. Talk about
Yes.
the Reveal app being great. This one is, the other one was good, but this is so much better.
Yes, and there's videos on stuff to explain things, so you don't have to buy something and get it in and what do I have? No, there's stuff on there to explain it, and pretty neat. But it's getting populated every day, and there's a pile of stuff on there now. So anyway, and that is the website.
SpottedDogSportingGoods.com.
Thank you
Free
very much.
shipping on orders over $99 or more.
Yes.
If you listen to the podcast, you'll hear that at the end of every one of them.
Everyone.
Everyone. Spotted Dog Podcast on all platforms and YouTube.
Yeah, and look, those podcasts, they're fun to do. And again, our guests are they're really interesting, and they bring a lot to it. So we're tickled with that. So
Gonna be working on an elk one here pretty quick too.
Yeah.
pretty quick. Yes, we are.
His bow was just sitting right there too. What, yesterday or today?
It was
came
till this
morning.
morning.
Didn't
Come
pick it
get
up
it.
this morning.
Yeah.
Put the
He's-
strings on it.
He's without giving in too much information, is it out of the 50 years he's elk hunted with a bow?
Ask Michael. He'll know it.
He's killed 47 or something
He's
like
not
that.
killed 3.
Yeah.
It's 51 out of 54 or something like that.
Yeah,
That's
Impressive.
not insane.
Yeah.
and not going to 2 different states each year. So that lets you know that's 1 state per year. So that's how long he's been doing it. And he is. I would not. You don't want to be hunted by him.
No.
Nope.
Good dude.
Or be a fish.
Yeah.
No,
He'll
he's-
wear the crappie out
He'll
too.
catch it.
He's a white perch worst nightmare.
But-
Crappie.
Yeah, crappie.
Crappie.
That's right.
We talked about the bows. The one thing, we don't have to get into this, but me and you were talking about broadheads the other day.
Yeah.
Talking about trying to go, and again, I know that you laugh, but like everybody has their own broadhead that they like, and they like it for this reason.
You can start a fight. You can start a fight right down there if you
can.
talk too bad about somebody's broadhead.
You can take every single one of those broadheads right now, draw back on an animal, and kill it.
Yes.
Otherwise, y'all wouldn't sell them.
We didn't
That's what I'm
sell
saying.
them.
Like, if you have a wall full of broadheads. I'm not even going to try to count. Can't count that high. Yeah, every one of them will do the job.
Yeah.
Depending on your bow setup, and that's the part we were talking about. So we're going to do a video. We do all kind of stuff, but one of the things we wanted to test and actually capture is what makes Broadhead 1 better than Broadhead 2. Well, it may make it better in the arrow you shoot, the poundage you shoot, the fletchings that you decide you want to shoot. Like, there's multiple different factors that will make one head perform. I mean, it will perform better. Maybe not so much on the cutting; they all cut good, but the flying, hitting the target, accuracy.
We're not going to shoot through a 55-gallon drum because I don't hunt those, and we're not going to shoot through a piece of plywood. Hadn't eaten any of that lately.
Cinder block.
So once these broadheads get to where they're going, if you got the right projectile pushing it, that's what we're going to go after. And there's different ones that perform better at different speeds, and we're gonna go into that, and it's going to be pretty interesting, and it'll kind of remind us about some things too. You know, not everybody knows everything, but we'll learn something on that thing too. You'll see. It's going to be fun.
It's like the arrow spinning out that way or spinning out that way, and then halfway in flight, turning back.
Oh, I'm telling you,
going and testing all that.
That arrow coming off the string one way, and then your fletcher turning the other way.
We'll tell you about that.
Yeah, let's don't even get started on that.
Talking about starting a fight. That's one of the ones that's
ridiculous thing.
But anyhow, I mean, you're just, I hate to say normal, but like there's some people like
That's a compliment.
I know.
I'll take
I know.
it.
Yeah. There's some people.
He's never said that.
I'm only gonna say it this one time about archery, but like you don't go and you're not trying to figure out what is the absolute very best arrow for you to go and shoot.
Yeah.
Like you're going and you're getting one that works and works really, really good, but you're not shooting 4 or 5 different types of arrows.
I don't think I've ever changed an arrow.
You've been shooting
Ever.
FMJs.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
FMJs
talking
is
about.
all,
Most people,
all I've ever
Are you
shot.
still shooting the 4 fletch?
I'm shooting a 3 fletch. That's all. That's all I've shot, and that's all I'm gonna probably continue shooting because that's what I'm used to, and that's what I've got the fletch and jig for, and it works. And I'm just not going to do anything else.
And that's the part I'm saying, y'all call it a compliment, but whatever. But that's the part that I want to talk about is your FMJ arrows having 3 shoot blazer vanes, 3 blazer vanes on the back. You could put 1 arrow on there and one broadhead on there, and it's not going to quite do what it may do at 60, 70 yards. Most people aren't shooting that far, especially at animals, but it's not going to do exactly what another one will do if you change the configuration. You had more FOC on the front, less, whatever it is. Like there's different things you can do to the arrow and the components to get that broadhead to fly different. That's not technically broadhead tuning, how people do with the big like iron wheels and stuff like that.
There's broadheads that react different to the speed of the bow, the spine of the shaft, and frankly, there's arrows that react different to the broadhead, to the speed of the bow.
Yeah.
You know, it's getting that combination. That's what everybody fights with. This time of year, this is what makes it fun. You know, everybody's trying to achieve the perfect arrow flight, and there's a bunch of ways to get it. There's no just one way to get it.
And most, like I said, the normal guy, most people, they're not going to go and buy all the different arrows, try all the different stuff out. You're not going to do that. Most people, they're not going to do that. So that's what we want to do. We want to do that for everybody. That we don't want to say, well, the Rage is better than the Swacker. It's just better. It cuts. It's better. Well, they cut the same. They're both 2 inches. They're going to do the same thing. But really, other than the
how they get there, how they get to that point is
what is going with your bow. What is going to make a Rage a better choice versus a Swacker or a dead meat or a mega meat or a fixed head, whatever it is. And so being able to go and do all that testing. I haven't seen anybody else that's done that.
But if you can't hit what it is you're shooting at, it doesn't matter what comes out of that bow. So you got to work on you first.
Right.
Work on you, and then the rest of it take care of itself.
I still need a lot of that.
I don't
know if he's preaching to the choir or what.
Dude, in the last 3 years, nobody's missed as many big deer as I have. I assure you. You would find it hard.
Has he openly told the story of the first one he missed? And you may not want to tell it. You may not want to tell
it don't bother me.
Okay, well then great. Me and him, we're in the blind and we're hunting, and we get a text. We're over in Mississippi River, and we get a text. Richard just had a big deer come out, or he's got a big deer or something like that. And I think we got a picture of.
Oh yeah,
it was a
picture.
It was a big deer. Before I even go any further, I'm gonna call him by his name, Richard. But
for sure,
you're not gonna find anybody. I mean, there's people out there, but you're not gonna find many people that are more knowledgeable, that has as much knowledge on archery and what to do than this cat. There's your compliment. I'm gonna backhand it though. This son going, how far was that deer?
He was 20 yards anyway.
You hit
he wasn't more than.
You hit something though. You shot and hit something, didn't you?
Nope.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you hit something.
Hit the ground blind one.
Yeah, you hit the ground.
That's not the one.
No, we're talking about the first.
I'm talking about
in November.
Oh yeah,
he was there with us.
He's confused on.
He opened the door for January then.
Well, no, I'm going back to the year before that.
Well, yeah.
That's 2 years running.
That's
I've
right.
done that. Yeah, I hit a window.
Yeah, but
We got that. That's gonna be fixed this year though. We're gonna have a little different ground blind there.
yeah, that was a different
We'll have
one.
some vertical
I
ones.
thought you were talking about the time I texted y'all and said, look, I'm done. I'm buying a live scope and a boat, and I'm going to start fishing.
Hey, I think you
That
sent
wasn't that.
No, but you sent that twice.
I mean,
He meant it the second time.
well, I hadn't
done it in January.
I hadn't bought the live scope or the boat yet.
Guys, we swear this is a place to come get your bows worked on. I
Do as
promise.
we say, not as we do.
Yeah.
Except for Michael. Michael's the killer.
But I could miss the next one though.
Well, I'm gonna say
It happens.
That's the fun part about archery.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different factors that play into that.
Oh, yeah.
all
And I'm going to tell you that there's so many good people. You know, we see them coming here, and boy, we got some. I'm gonna brag on them. We got some good customers that come in, and that customers are friends of ours, and from all over. Now that we're down this way, we've met new friends from South Louisiana, and you know they fill up Caldwell Parish there a couple of different times. Well, throughout deer season, I guess you'd say, and they have become good friends of ours, and I never would have met them if it wasn't for archery.
Yeah. Still see a bunch.
Lifelong friends.
Still see a bunch from North Arkansas area that we used to
Absolutely.
use.
a lot of
Good old boys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
All right, Nolan,
You got
wrap
it.
it up.
you got anything else, Michael McVeigh?
I'm just glad to be here.
I'm glad he called you
Yeah.
Michael McVeigh.
Well, you have to. Anytime I say, well, Michael's coming, you're like Michael
There's
Little
two
or
of us in
Michael
there.
McVeigh,
There's
two
four,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember what kind of nickname he has for you. We're going to talk about that after this thing.
I won't say his in front of his face, though.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
That's fine.
Oh, wait, I'll take
Just
it.
gonna hide it.
Yeah. We're gonna hide it. But no, maybe within, I think not this weekend, but next weekend is what we're talking about going to Kansas,
Yeah.
maybe. Me, him, and then Corey, you know, he bought that 400 and something acres up there. And so we're talking about slipping up.
Talked to him today.
Really?
Well, he's fired up. Look, I'm
I
telling
would
you,
be too.
I did not even know that this man hunted. I mean, this cat can cook up a storm now, but I had no idea. And he is more mad at him than any three people you know.
It has been for a while. It's not something new that just popped up.
I didn't know.
Corey Barr from Paris Restaurant and Standard Coffee in Monroe.
Man, if y'all hadn't been to that restaurant, you need to go, dude. I don't like duck.
You got the duck wrap appetizer?
I love that duck.
Real.
That duck's pretty good.
It is. You got a filet too?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was better than the duck. The duck's really, really good. That filet was really, really good. So
They have a revolving menu. So there's a few staple items that they have on there all the time. Their double cheeseburger. It's the best cheeseburger you'll ever eat in your life. It's so freaking good. But stuff like duck wraps. I think they may have the duck wraps all the time, maybe. But there's a lot of things that are
it's
seasonal.
on the
that-
appetizer list.
Yes, that may be there most of the time. But like the fish, that they could go and get redfish, and I mean, when he gets it, he knows that he's getting it Sunday or Monday, and he's getting it Tuesday and cooking it. And
Look, we're going to get him on the
pod.
podcast now, somehow or another. I think it'd be pretty neat to be back here in his kitchen while he's whipping something up.
I want to be there for
And we
that.
get to eat it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you get
I
to
want
eat
to
it.
be there for that.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know,
But he's fun. He's a fun cat, and we enjoy him.
when we first got the podcast started, we were just testing the equipment and trying to figure out the layout of how we wanted it. I did a burner episode with you, which ended up being awesome. So that was our first episode we did.
Yeah.
But I did 2 with Corey, and or did I do 1? I did 1
But
or
you're
2
gonna
with
have
Corey.
with it, though. You're pretty good at it, isn't you? You speak well, and
I can trick you every now and then.
Yeah, well, you do
Yeah.
okay. You do really good.
But we're gonna get Corey on a real podcast. He's showing me that a bit too. He tells us all the time, he's like, dude, I'm ready. Like I'm ready to do it. We just got to time everybody's schedule up right. But no, that was the main point of the video. I just wanted to come in, if you're still hanging on at this point. Again, I have no idea how long we've been rolling. If you're still here listening, the 2024 Hoyt Alpha X 30 completely rigged out giveaway. You buy everything but the arrows. Everything comes with it. But the arrows, you have to buy. You got to buy your arrows. But,
Y'all, it is a giveaway. You're not
Yeah,
going
it's
to
a
have to buy
giveaway.
anything.
Yeah.
It is a giveaway
Yep.
and kind of an appreciation deal, but you're going to have to do a little work to get it. We're going to, we'll let you
Just a
know.
little. There'll be an email sign up. I made this. I say a joke, but I made the statement earlier. You buy a battery 8, 9, 10 years ago from AutoZone. You gave them your name and your email address to sign up for that. You're still getting emails from them. And you just keep scrolling past them. That's what we're working towards. But stuff that you're not just going to scroll past. We're not going to just send just trash. When you sign up for this, you're signing up for the newsletter essentially. So that's going to be the entry point, so to speak. And so you're going to sign up. And when we have deals, when there are sales, when there are things going on, that will be the first, before it goes to social media, before it goes on a flyer on the door up there, we do anything else with it, goes on radio, TV, anything. That email list will be the first group of people that get to see it.
Our new product when we get it in.
I mean, like the Booney bow sites. I don't even think that they're on sale on the website yet, are they?
It's not. They're not on Spot Hog's website.
Yeah, they're not even.
They just now started shipping it last month, maybe, and they went in order in which the orders were received. So if you didn't order it in January at the ATA show, your buying group or however you bought it in line in which they were bought, that's how they're shipped.
The reveals came out Monday, and y'all had on Monday.
Yeah.
And so, but there's all kinds of stuff. Speaking of archery, year after year, I know I've done it for 4 years with y'all, but this will be the 5th, and I'm sure it won't be any different. The Matthews, you may not have any to sell, but at least just to check out and look. These new bows, the day that they're dropped, if they're dropped on November 15th, guess who's going to have a bow most of the time November 15th to at least look at.
Yeah.
And so that all that will be on the email list that goes out. So
Absolutely.
we're not going to send a bunch of crap your way, stuff you're trying to unsubscribe and all that. It'll
be pertinent information
it'll
about
only be-
something.
only be
It
good
won't
stuff.
be useless
So
information.
I don't know if it'll be the Insiders Club or Spotted Dog VIP, or
VIP,
may call it the Lap Dog, get the special treatment, something like that. No, that's kind of lame. We won't call it that, but it'll essentially be a VIP service. You sign up for it.
This thing's going extra long.
Yeah, we ain't stopping anytime soon.
It's closing.
It's closing. But yeah, the bow giveaway. We talked about the bows, the 2024 bows, saddle stuff, all the other videos that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So that was the purpose of this. Is kind of like
And we'll have some
update.
other videos with some of our gun guys too about suppressors and whatnot, which is pretty interesting. I enjoy listening to them talk about this stuff, to be honest
The
with you.
suppressors are coming back quicker and quicker every day.
They are.
Was it
They
like
are.
3 days or 7 days or something like that?
It's running a week roughly
Okay.
right now.
Yeah.
On most of it.
Depending on the trust.
Yeah, that's right.
Mine,
You
I'm
can get closer to 10 to 14 days too, though. Depending
yeah,
on what it is.
yeah. Well, I just certified today for another one.
There you
Okay.
go.
So we'll see. We'll see how long that takes. But if y'all don't have anything else, we can let these guys go to bed.
Yeah, look, and we appreciate y'all tuning in, and hopefully y'all stay to the end of it.
I'll call him.
Sure,
Nick again
sure
if
took
he's
a while to
taking
get
longer.
there though. That 30 minutes went long.
He didn't hear me. But
No,
He chose to ignore
he
you.
does it most of the time. So
that's what my wife said too.
all right.
Selective memory.
Thank y'all for doing this.
Hey, look, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Some of it was pretty good information.
This is the same kind of concept, very little of it. This is the same. If you're sitting in these millennial chairs out here or standing around or whatever, when you come here, you're going to talk and you're going to shoot the bull. And that's what we just did. We just kind of included everybody.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We appreciate y'all coming
Yeah.
down. We appreciate it. Thank you. brother.
Yeah, appreciate y'all having me. It's fun.
No, that's not something. All right. Close it out. No,
yeah.
close us out.
So make sure to keep checking out SpottedDogSportingGoods.com. We really are adding more and more items each day. The email list, that's something that's coming. The bow is not, it is July 3rd. I will edit this video tonight. It'll go out probably July 4th or 5th, 2024. That bow, we don't have it set up just yet to do the giveaway, but it's coming very soon.
Yes.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. We will, as soon as we get that figured out, you'll know. But to be in the know and everything else, sign up for the email list when it becomes available. We're not going to hammer you with crap. It's only going to be
And drive on down here to Columbia.
yeah.
That's right.
Or up here, depending on where you're coming from.
Yeah.
That's right.
We got a lot of people out of state that drive out to get here to the valley.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much. We'll shut it down. About to head to the house.
Thank you.
We'll see y'all.
Bye, y'all.